So we're doing a brief recap on classes, just in case maybe you just want to look at it again and see how it, if it makes any more sense. No, well, you have to watch the video, but whatever. Okay, so the first thing we have here is our fields, our properties, our instance variables. Again, these all mean the same thing. They're used interchangeably and they're all used all the time. They also use object variables. Okay, these are what make each object different. So if I made a bank account here, so each count would be different because of its balance, its account number, and the name associated with it. That's what would make it different. The fact that it can withdraw, it can deposit money, that makes all of them the same. So everything works the same. You add money to your account, it's a deposit, you take it away, it's a withdrawal. What makes it different is what the account number is and who it belongs to and how little money is left after a holiday season. Okay, so these things are what makes each object unique. Okay, you need these in order for the object to be different than anything else. So the next thing here, these two, this one and this one, these are called constructors. So as a recap, constructors, they make the objects. So they allow, when you have a client program, to actually physically make an object. Okay? So this one is the default in this case, because there is no parameters, and we just give it, default starting value. Down here, this one allows you to assign a value to each of the fields. So in this case, so this is a different constructor. Okay, so this different constructor allows you to assign a value. Now here, this account number, you could actually take this one out and maybe assign it a random number, some sort of random number, which I'm not going to do, but or the next number in your group. And this could be done once we get a raise and all that different things. You're able to combine your objects in a different kind of way. But notice here we have our balance, and that's this balance here, because the word this means it's associated with the fields. So remember, this is I'm going to capitalize the because it's like I mean, implicit parameters are one thing, but it's the implicit parameter referring to the object that you're in right now. So if we were in my bank account, it would be, this would be my object. If I was in your bank account, this would be your object. Okay, so it refers to the fields here. So it refers to these guys. So this refers to those. Okay. So we need constructors to actually create the objects. Once the objects are created, we can do anything we want with them. But if whatever we want to do, we have to create a method to do it. So all the methods are used. So for example, whatever. So down here, the ones where I return values from here to here, these guys are our accessors. I didn't really put them in order. No order is necessary. A lot of people like to put their fields, these guys, down at the very bottom, but it doesn't matter. You can put any method anywhere, constructors anywhere you want. Accessor methods, gets field values. I tend to call them fields a little bit more, but properties also comes out of my mouth. instance variables, you know, they're all the same thing. So these accessors don't change anything, they just allow you to access it outside of the object. Because here, these are all private. Remember, we have to make these private. You can't use them outside. So in order, you have to use a method in order to allow access to them. And really, it's not access, it's just looking at it. I did forget to mention, remember bank account, the constructors always have the same name as the class. Okay, so keep that in mind. So these are accesses, they just get the value. These are mutators, or setters, also another word, and that just means field values are changed. So if I change the field value, I'm not going to return the value. Okay, if I deposit this, so that means I'm adding to the balance, down here I can get the balance later. I'm not going to return a value and change it. That's doing too much in a method. Okay, you have to get used to that. Withdraw does the same thing, except you subtract. So I would use get balance to see what my balance is. Here I also allowed to change the name, because if we have a default parameter with no name, we have to find a way to actually put the name in and the account number. Because here the account number was 00 whatever, you know, and I want to have a way of actually changing that. Okay, so this is all how to create a class using it. Excuse me, using the class. Let's hope this shows up because I have all this stuff hidden. When you're using a class, you need to create these objects. Okay, so I'm going to type something up and then I'll be right back. So what we're going to be doing here is just showing you one way you can use the bank account class. Okay, in order to use it, you would create an object. So the way you create an object is you put the name of the class, then you give it a name. So the bank account is lowercase, right? Is Barris. You use the word new to say I'm creating a new, and then you put the constructor. So this is the constructor. Now if I do that, this calls the default. Okay, if I do this, I like Steve so much. If I do this and I put values in the parentheses, then this is going to be using the other constructor. Generally we have at least two constructors, and I need the balance, then the account number, and then the name. Okay, so balance comes first. So, oh, nice. Balance would be, it's a double, so 3 million, right, I wish, and 23,023 cents. That's my account balance that I'm going to start with. Yeah, I forgot already. The account number. So the account number would be whatever, 87654. And the name, I'll just call it, we'll do it Steve Hemi Smith. There we go. So I just created two objects. One has all the default and the other has all of the these values to it. So if I want to access them, I have to call them, and I have to call methods that use it. So if I want to know how much I have in my bank account here, I would have to do Barris dot and then the methods. So remember, there's no more static anymore. I can't just put the name of a method anymore. I need an object to go along with it. So this is the object that goes with it, And then I come over here and I'm like, all right, if I want to get, and this is why we use the word gets for get account numbers and things like that, get name, get balance, because if we are unified in our naming, it's a lot easier to call things and remember. Yeah, I lose track of things. Okay, and just remember the names of methods and things. So as you can see, if I do this, my account is 0. I got nothing. Yeah, I do. And if I do this again, if I do this for Steve, okay, this is how it knows the difference. It knows which account to look at. I like to think of it almost like a database. I know it's not, but I guess I should have used LN. But anyway, so 0.0 is mine, 3023 is his, and you know, we would, again, this is just a tester. So the basics behind classes, you have a class, fields, constructors, methods that just access, and methods that actually change things. And then to call them and to use them, we have to create objects, and to run the methods, the object name has to come first. All right, have a great day. See ya.